magical teleporting dog. It's Murphy. He's a cute and curly golden demigod. You're such a good dog. Good dog, good dog, good dog, good dog. You're such a good dog.
One evening on the live stream, as the comments drifted by, Lee spotted Mark and Betty's avatar, and it really caught his eye. He pointed at the little face, and his smile grew nice and big. He said, "Now look at that. There's a cute little pig." Betty, sweet Betty, is not a pig. Poorly couldn't tell because the picture's not big. That Betty, sweet Betty, is not a pig. So now we all know, and we'll sing it nice and big. Betty, sweet Betty, is not a pig. Betty's human laughed and said, "No, Lee, she's a dog, can't you see?" Well, that's all it took for us to laugh gleefully. Poor Betty was traumatized, or so the story goes. Now every time her picture pops, the whole chat always knows. Betty, sweet Betty, is not a pig. Poorly couldn't tell because the picture's not big. That Betty, sweet Betty, is not a pig. So now we all know, and we'll sing it nice and big. Betty, sweet Betty, is not a pig. Is not a pig. Poorly couldn't tell because the picture's not big. That Betty, sweet Betty, is not a pig. So now we all know, and we'll sing it nice and big. Hey! Betty, sweet Betty, is not a pig.
All right, everybody, welcome to A Crimes After Dark on a Wednesday night. We're kind of moving towards Wacky Wednesday, where we pull out some video and we do some live breakdowns and stuff like that. And well, at least live for me. I know Dago from True Crime Cafe has seen this particular interview, but I wanted to break it out for my audience. I've heard about it. I've been given some details. I think this has got a bombshell moment that I want to talk about, I think. But we'll see. It's only about 36 minutes long, which means it takes me about 4 hours to get through it, but we're going to do it in about 2 hours because I'm going to rush myself a little bit. But I am long-winded, and brevity is not my strong suit. Most of you know. All right, let's get our panel up on stage. Dago for True Crime Cafe. Wait, brevity is not my strong suit. I see you nodding.
No, you didn't see anything, bro. You didn't see nothing.
I see you nodding over there. Brevity is not that guy can't say anything in 2 seconds. No. So, welcome. I'm glad you're all here tonight. It's good to see you. It is unfortunate that 1-1 can't be with us again tonight. For anyone who thinks that this is some kind of weird, like, normal thing, I think he will be getting to a more normal schedule coming up in the short future. But right now, he's all over the place as new duties have befallen him, and then he's all over the place. But we will get past well, New York having a lot of events going on where his schedule's all over the place and his new duties, and we'll see. I think it's going to settle down pretty soon, and we'll get one on the show more regularly. For I know there's a lot of people out there who love to see his appearance on here. Did he give you a monologue to read tonight for him?
He did.
What?
He did.
Bitch,
Yeah.
please. All right, so
Yes, sir.
let's do it. Let's do it.
Awesome.
All right. So, is it good to be alive in the den on a wacky Wednesday night?
Always.
All right. Jackson, Juliana, you are the apple of your daddy's eye. And Mrs. 11, you know how much he adores you.
Yes.
Yeah. So, in the frozen hours before dawn on November 13th of 2022, the small college town of Moscow, Idaho, still hummed with the after echoes of Saturday night. Most of the parties had burned out. Most of the students had stumbled home or passed out in unfamiliar beds. But at 1122 King Street, a modest off-campus house tucked among the Greek life sprawl, the back door slider door remained unlocked, just as it always was. That door wasn't an oversight. It was a policy, a quiet pact among friends. If you needed somewhere to crash after last call, if exams were crushing your chest, if you just needed a warm couch and someone to talk to until the sun came up, you didn't knock. You walked around the side, stepped through the rocks, and slid the glass open. The front door had a passcode. The back door had trust. Caleb Jacobsen knew that house the way you know a second skin. He wasn't a roommate there, but he might as well have been. He and his tight circle, Ethan, Xana, and the extended family that included Maddie and Kaylee, moved through those rooms like they owned them. They cooked tacos and enchiladas at 2 a.m. They partied with Sigma Chi's and Delts spilling in and out. Caleb was usually the one behind the camera, the one taking the pictures while everyone else posed. He sat on Xana's bed just to hang out. He knew which rooms felt like sanctuaries and which ones were for louder nights. Xana, in Caleb's words, was the happiest person I ever met. A super bright light, like always happy. She could conquer the world on a Tuesday afternoon. Ethan was one of his best friends. The house itself was a gravitational center of their world. But on the night of the 12th, Caleb wasn't there. He was up at his dad's place, trying to give his brain a reset during exam season. Around 6 p.m., he logged into an online game with Ethan. They played a few rounds, not the marathon sessions they usually had, just catching up after a few days apart. Then, Ethan ended the call the way anyone ends a call with a friend, abrupt, casual, already moving on to whatever came next. I gotta go. Bye. Those were the last words Caleb ever heard from him. By the time Caleb returned to Moscow the next morning, his dad driving him down early after a 3 a.m. wake up for work, the world had already begun to fracture, cars racing past. A sudden lock on a door that had never needed one. Text to Ethan that had vanished into silence. Police presence escalating while Caleb and his people stood on the edges, trying to understand what they were even looking at. In the weeks that followed, investigators did what they always do when a house full of young people is turned into a tomb. They started pulling threads. They talked to the ones who knew the layout, who knew the rhythms, who knew that the slider was never locked because that's how you took care of your own. On December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day, Caleb sat for a recorded interview. He was calm but clearly gutted. He described a place where random strangers never just appeared, where every face that came through that back door belonged to someone who had been there before. He talked about Xana's light, about the normalcy of video games and goodbyes, about the creeping, unshakable feeling that settled in his chest once the shock began to fade. I have a feeling that someone that I know that did it, but I don't know who. Like, once this person gets caught, I have a feeling that I'm going to know who it was. This is the story of a door that was never supposed to be an investigation to death, of a bright light extinguished in the dark, of the friends left standing in the wreckage, trying to understand how the place that felt safest became the place that took everything. Welcome to Crimes After Dark. Tonight we go inside the December 7th interview. We walk the rooms Caleb walked. We hear the last normal moments before the abyss opened, and we confront the question that still lingers in the static between every word. How do you lock a door that was never meant to keep the darkness out? And with that, this is Devil's Advocates.
Why, thank you. Excellent.
Great job, Robin, reading, and great job, 1-1, creating.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Well done, Sir 1-1.
I'm feeling a little frisky tonight. I may or may not have I'm frisky. I'm frisky.
All right.
Now here's the thing. You may need to get me up to speed. I didn't watch Caleb Jacobson's first interview, so this is a second interview. Dago, can you bring us up to speed on who Caleb Jacobsen is and why we give a shit about his interview and why he was interviewed twice and all those good things?
Well, the first. Whoa, hold on.
Well, you sounded great to me.
Can you hear me? Okay. The first interview was basically it wasn't an interview. It was just a phone call to get him to come to the station to do the interview is all it was.
So why are they calling this the second interview?
Because it's labeled the way it was sent to Connor. It was labeled 1 and 2.
Okay.
It's 4 minutes long. It's a phone call saying, I don't like to do this over the phone. So yeah. The second one was definitely an interview. And he was very close to Ethan from the way he explained himself. And a good friend of his, so on and so forth. He also, one of his roommates is Hunter Johnson, which is very interesting. So, that's
everybody and their dog is listed as Ethan's best friend. Is this another
everybody
one listed as Ethan? Like
everybody.
Here's an interview from Ethan's best friend, and then tomorrow here's another interview from Ethan's best friend, and here's like how many fucking best friends does this guy have? I realize he was a popular guy, and a lot of people liked him, but I almost feel at this point that it's getting ridiculous with the number of people who've been called Ethan's best friend.
Yes, I know. Yeah. And I guess from my understanding, I think, don't completely clarify this. Based on what I heard, and we can probably verify it tonight, but Hunter J is his cousin too, as well as his roommate. So
let me clarify. Hunter Johnson is Caleb Jacobsen's cousin. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, according to Amanda.
Okay.
Yes.
And roommate. Yes.
Okay.
Along
with Amanda said something else in the chat that bothered me. Right before we went live, Amanda said something about, did you hear Caleb wasn't even there? Is this interview that we're going to listen to that I haven't heard going to say that Caleb was
He was
Moscow
at his dad's. He was at home with his dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he say in the interview that he was there in Moscow when this happened?
Yeah, he was dropped off Sunday morning at 8:00 in the morning by his dad.
Sunday morning. So the day of the day of the murders, because that happened earlier in the day. So he was dropped off. He had been out of town during the murders, you're saying, and then dropped off in that morning after the murders happened, right?
Right. He was not there. He was at home.
But he knows some shit, G Bean said. He knows some shit, G Bean says.
A little bit. Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah. Well, let's just do it live. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
That's right.
We'll do it live.
You can be frisky and do it live.
I believe this comes from Connor, who's been getting a lot of public records. By the way, I've been in my own public records battle lately. So I had a document I almost thought about showing you online. It's a document between EWU, Explore With Us, against the lawsuit against Moscow Police Department in Idaho and about the public records that they did. And they admit, it was funny because in the document, and I decided not to show it to you because it really wasn't important. You should believe me. Early on, I told you, when I did my first records request, Moscow came back and said, we need, for your request, we need in excess of $20,000. That's our estimate. It's going to cost us more than $20,000. And we need to have half that money up front before we even begin. In this recent document I saw between EWU and Moscow Police Department, they said the same thing. Originally, we told everyone that we needed $20,000 and half up front to get started because everybody keeps asking us for too much information and we don't have the time and the resources, and they got too, and then they admit in that document, everything's mislabeled and really hard to find, and it makes it really hard. So you fucking tell me how the defense got proper discovery if you admit that your shit is improperly labeled, you can't find shit, you don't know how to find it. But trust me, bro, the defense had all the discovery and had it in a just the way we got it. So it's a catch-22. They admit their documents are so out of order and mislabeled and misinformation and incorrectly filed that it's hard for them to get public records requests filled. Yet we're supposed to believe that the defense knew exactly what was going on and had all the discovery. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But those two things can't be the same. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
So it was just interesting to me that they admitted that they told everybody, including myself, that they would want $20,000 up front. They want $10,000 just to begin the process. It was bullshit. The whole thing was bullshit. And trust me, again, I want to say this. The first time a media outlet pays their exorbitant fucking fee and pays them $10,000 to get started on it and $20,000 to get it, nobody else should have to pay for it. It's been done. The legwork has been paid for.
$30.
But they were telling every single person that they wanted the same $20,000, $10,000 up front. They were telling everyone that. So how many times were they going to charge people the same $20,000 for the same work? I want to know.
Right. But exactly.
You are correct. It's a great point because it should only be $30 after that.
Yeah, exactly. It should be relatively cheap, very, very cheap. I'm fighting my own public records requests so I filed. Remember, Steve Gonzalez recently said in the Idaho 4 case, and he surprised us in an interview by saying, just flippantly, really quick, there was a lot of discovery in this case. Discovery out of Colorado, and I went, what? Discovery out of Colorado. So I filed immediately public records requests, and I filed it to the FBI, the CBI, Colorado Bureau of Investigations, and the Colorado State Police. I filed 3 different reports or requests to all 3 agencies. Again, I'm beating a dead horse when I say this. The FBI request is an actual FOIA. Federal agency, FBI, they get a FOIA. The other ones are public records requests of the state of state of Colorado for the state police and the Colorado Bureau of Investigations. And I've been getting pretty much a runaround. I got told here's what I asked for. And they said, you only need approximate. You don't need the incident number. You need approximate dates and ages of the people you're looking into. And what I said was, please tell me about anything on your records from December 19th or about that time. It doesn't have to be super, and again, that's the date that I believe kind of like it's around the time that Koberger was traveling back with his father back to Pennsylvania. And I said, give her around that time in 2022. Did you have any records related to a Brian Koberger or Brent Lee Kopacka? And their response from the Colorado State Police is no such records exist. Nobody on our records has the name of Brent Kopacka or Brian Koberger. So
I love it.
Is that a lie, or is there no records from the state police? Now that's the state police. So CBI has not officially, I don't think, responded. The FBI, no, CBI did respond, I think, and they said I had to. It was kind of convoluted. I had to give them a disclaimer signed by myself, admitting that I would not use any information they give me for pecuniary. That's a big word. Pecuniary gain. So financial gain. So and again, here's the tricky part. If CNN runs commercials, then when they're reporting on the news, they're doing it for financial gain. They're reporting the news, but they run commercials. So does my media company, which is the same as CNN, all of a sudden can't get public records because I run commercials on my stuff? I don't think that's what it means. I'm digging into the law to clarify what what the fuck is the word? I can't even say. Remember how I had the problems the other night with
procuring
injuries? It's a big word. Pecuniary is. I'm coming close. I think I'm coming close to the word. But anyways, I have to look up the legal definition of what they're exactly. But it can't just mean you can't. I think what it says is it says for soliciting new business. So I'm not using their data to solicit new business. Hey, look, it would be. I'm a media channel reporting on a true crime case, and that's why we have an interest in the case. Anyways, we're learning law as we go. For what it's worth, I'm ready to dial in and dive in to Caleb Jacobson's interview number 2, which according to Dago is really interview number 1 because the other one was just a phone call. Allegedly, don't say it, best friend of, fuck me, that guy doesn't have 37 best friends. Somebody who knew Ethan. Somebody who, I'm going to put it that way, somebody who knew Ethan. Interviewed on 12/7/2022. And I think this was, correct me if I'm wrong, was obtained from Connor because Connor got the public records request. And look, people are paying big money to get these videos. And a lot of them are kind of a little bit dry. I bet you, though, that we won't make it dry because we tend to have a little humor involved with our breakdowns. So that's why we call this Wacky Wednesday.
Well,
let's see.
Yeah. Yep.
You were going to add something there, Dago?
Oh, I was just going to say the reactions are the fun ones, which is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let me bring this up. With
and I hope you're watching this Ignorant Clown Posse as well, just so you can make comments about it. So just saying.
I'll take. I think we got a lot of people who are haters who it's amazing to me.
Yes.
It really is amazing to me that we have so many people that show up on a regular basis to shit on the channel. It's like, do you not have something better to do with your life than to watch channels you clearly don't agree with, just to piss on their channel all day long? Like,
amen, bro. Amen.
Move on to some place that you actually are healthy, have a healthier relationship. Move on to something else.
I'm sorry, Jeebs, I can't hit the button in here because I'm not leading. So otherwise, next time I'll do it. I promise.
All right. Are you ready to get rolling?
Rolling.
Yep.
Rolling. Keep those doggies rolling. Right. All right. You have to let me know pretty soon if I don't have sound. I'm going to hit the play button. Let's bring it on. No sound for me either. So hold on.
Yeah.
There it is. Did you hear sound for a second?
Awesome.
Forewarning, there's a lot of redaction in this.
Okay,
Fuck,
your middle initial and your last name.
Awesome.
Okay, and your date of birth.
Oh, by the way, I have to say, cool hat, bro. Seattle Mariners, little retro hat, like really retro kind of looking hat. Seattle Mariners.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't have my Seattle Mariners hat on. Half the time I have a Seattle Mariners hat on. So anyways, I digress.
2003. Wow. Okay. And your current address?
Redacted.
It's so bad. We could almost run a whole other show in between the redactions they have.
Yeah,
no shit.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Good Lord, how long does it say this tail is that?
Doing all right.
And your address is? Does it really? Is his address that I live at 4727 452 2nd Street in New York? I'm like, how long is the fucking address?
They must have made him
tell an address,
spell it out and everything. So
spell it.
Jesus. All right, sorry, I digress.
It's Dickolas.
Yeah. Seen better days, but
yeah. This is me, so you have that. This is Tim. Today is December 7th, Full Harbor Day, and current time is 1:53. So, it sounds like you know what's going on, and just in case it didn't capture that first part, you said you are roommates with Ethan. And
no, I'm roommates with.
All right, redacted. But you are saying, is he roommates with Hunter Johnson?
Hunter Johnson. Yeah.
Roommates. Okay, let me clarify this, Dago. Was Hunter Johnson living at the Whites with this guy, or was he staying with Emily at the 1119 or 118? Sorry, 1118 address. Where was Hunter staying?
Both.
Fuck me. That's awesome.
And also his roommate as well as his cousin.
Yes.
Okay. It's a good thing that this isn't confusing. That's the only thing I can say. It's a good thing this isn't confusing.
Cut and dry.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yes.
Okay. And was
the guy on the line with
911.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So there's your confirmation in case you needed it, that it is Hunter Johnson. He's the guy who was on the line with 911, who we know is Hunter Johnson. So for those who weren't sure, we just pulled that out of our ass. That's further confirmation. All right.
So I'll just let you start. It might be easiest just to have you start telling me what you know, what you understand of the case, anything you think that might help us out.
It's hard for me to even fathom. I was back up here because I was buying my phone, and then I walked into my apartment, and my other roommate, her boyfriend, is one of me and her best friends. He was leaving.
Fuck! Oh my God, I can't stand the redactions.
Get ready because there's a lot.
Okay, so so let me break this down. He's roommates with Hunter, but he happened to be out of town during the murders and then came back in the morning of the murders. Okay, let's keep going.
And we just saw cars racing by right when my cousin had left to go over there.
So that's where he got the Hunter, my cousin, was going to go. Right when my cousin Hunter was going to go over there. Wait a minute.
There's all kinds of cars going by?
Right. Why is there a bunch? Why is it making us? Wait a minute. Why is it making us sound like a whole bunch of cars are whizzing by because an event just happened? He didn't say police
That's
cars.
what he's saying. But I had to stop when I was doing this because I got confused too. But Hunter was not leaving from his apartment, from my understanding. He was leaving from Emily's, heading that direction, but his other roommates were heading that direction. So, like Amanda said,
so he's not talking about. He's not talking about Hunter leaving towards where all the cars are racing. Hunter's already over at Emily's place at 1118.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Like Amanda said,
I'm so glad you clarified that.
Yeah, I caught that too, and I was like, hold on, wait a minute, back up. And then
see, this is part of the reason why I hate doing these things live, because if I just listen 30 seconds longer, it'll probably get explained to me. But all right, let's keep going.
Towards King Street, and we didn't know what happened. And then the lock was put into place, and I texted Ethan and I asked him if it was okay. Obviously, I never got a response. But yeah, that place, everyone's in and out of, that's in our friend group.
And that place being 1122 King Street? Okay.
The house that it happened, I was always there. I mean,
and I know I'm beating a dead horse, but if the house is a house that everybody comes and goes from, how are they so clear it's Brian Kober that came in and not 40 million other people who come and go from that house anytime they want to? Everyone knows in their friends group that the house is unlocked, that you can come and go when you want. 30 people plus have the code to the door. It's half the time all the doors are unlocked. It's a party house, but we know definitively the only person that could have come into that house that's constantly accessed by everybody that can come and go is Brian Kober.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
Me and his girlfriend are really, really close with Xana and Ethan, and we were there all the time. I mean, it was not uncommon to see us there making tacos or enchiladas or just partying, I guess. And there's tons of people out of that place just throughout the Greek community. Mainly Sigma Chi's and Delts.
Okay. Are you a member of one of the fraternities?
Yes.
So I want to clarify this, because this is the first time maybe I've heard it stated so clearly. Sigma Chi fraternity brothers and the Delts fraternity brothers come and go from 1122 on a regular basis. So that house traffics multiple fraternities that mix and go, because we've got allegations about the Delts and whether they're running drugs and whether there was a drug thing from the Delts, and then you get the Sigma Chi and were they fighting, but apparently both fraternities frequent this house and interchange. And I think that's important to keep in mind when you're talking about who the usual suspects are.
Right.
Myself.
Exactly.
So I was in.
So I'm sorry, what was the name of it? I'm going to get it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what'd you call it? Okay.
Yes.
You're not a member anymore?
I'm not a member anymore.
Okay. When?
By the way, Dago, or Amanda in the chat, who's doing the interviews? Is it MPD or ISP?
Yes. I think it's ISP.
You think it's Idaho State Police?
Okay. I think so, yes. I'm sure Amanda will correct it if I'm wrong.
Yeah. All right. We're playing, so there's just redacted bullshit.
I was still a big part of the Greek community. Even though I wasn't in the house anymore. I mean,
I'm sure whatever he said was extremely important to redact.
Redact.
Red rum.
And so I was still very involved with everything. I was still doing intramurals, and I knew a bunch of people, and I was still hanging out because I was down at the school. I just lived off campus, obviously.
Where did you live down?
Fuck me.
Oh yeah, Leslie Lehman. That's right. That's who this is.
Leslie Lehman is what? The interviewer?
ISP officer, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops.
I'm
what number were you?
I'm fighting being horrible with my dirty jokes. I'm just gonna let that go. So what was I gonna say? The redactions are horrendous. All right, let's keep going.
Okay.
Yes, I no longer live there.
Okay. And you lived in that apartment with...
Is the apartments they're talking about the Whites apartments that they're talking about that they lived in the apartments with the Whites? Just curious. But all right, let's keep going. And we are playing. Okay. I love the redaction. I mean, the good news, this is going to go fast, right?
Yeah.
They drive me nutsly. I literally get so jacked
how much
out
money?
over these.
How much money do we pay for this redacted bullshit?
Yeah.
Listen, real quick before he starts talking again. Jules did the new Jack Decor interview, which is really kind of weak. She paid $200+ for that, and 95% of it's redacted. It's such garbage.
Yep. Yeah, and their argument would be, hey, we fuck. That means she's paying for the redactions, right? She's paying for the time.
That's all any of us are paying for is for them to redact the documents. What, Mert? You're right. I'm gonna write a song called Redacted. Period.
We need a song called Redacted, absolutely, and have half the song's lyrics blacked out.
Half of it blacked out. Yes, that's exactly it right there.
All right.
Okay. Before we go any further, have you spoken with any of them?
Yes. So
you know what? That redact already. I'm having a brilliant. Like if I were doing the redactions, I would make it clear what was about to be said, but I would redact it. I'd make it abundantly clear what I was about to say, and then I'd just redact it.
No, right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Isn't this great? This is awesome, isn't it?
Riveting stuff.
I know. Right, Robin.
There's gonna be a moment. I can guarantee, I can feel it in my bones. There's gonna be a moment where I'm gonna lose my shit. I can feel it.
Just waiting.
Okay. I need to refill my drink. Maybe. Yeah.
But wait.
There's more.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more. Okay. For another $257, you can get 27 more minutes of redacted bullshit, of which only 5 minutes is actual sound.
Exactly. Thank you.
But wait, there's more. All
right. So your apartment that you live in.
Yeah.
I know. Okay. Gotcha.
That makes a lot more sense now. I was like, okay.
I know.
I was sitting there trying to picture it, and I was like,
okay.
But then you said the Whites. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. I'm sorry. I have to digress. I have to digress really big for a moment. So pardon me doing this in the middle of this. Fox Hollow Murders on Hulu. I want to point out it connects to Idaho 4. Fox Hollow Murders. If you haven't watched season 1, we're on season 2 now, and Birdie Bombshells is in season 2 on episode 1.
Is it good?
So no, the series is not good in my opinion. It's interesting. It's super interesting, but I hate the way they filmed it. They're trying to make it super dramatic, and they repeat the same things over and over again to make it more dramatic. I hate that style. But having said that, I was watching it because I heard Birdie was all over it, and I wanted to see what Birdie's position was in it and whatever. But there's a moment that they caught on film, and it relates to Idaho 4 in this way. An investigator who was investigating a certain person as the killer who had killed, and they had 10,000 bones, 10,000 human bones on the property at Fox Hollow, and a serial killer that they said has killed more people than the only thing that compares in the United States to the number of people killed is September 11th. This person alone may have killed as many people as that it compares with September 11th. But as they're investigating him, this investigator had been on the case for years and had developed a whole bunch of suspects. A new investigator comes in, and you see a moment on camera where the investigator is turning over her files to the new investigator and says, this person's a suspect, this person's a suspect, this person's a suspect. And the new investigator stops her and says, I don't care about any other suspects. And she goes, oh, you only want Baumeister? He's like, yeah, I only want Baumeister. And he literally was admitting, I give zero shits about any suspects. I have decided already who the killer is, and that's all I want to hear about. And she's pointing out all the other suspects. He goes, I don't care about any other. He literally says that. I don't care about anyone else. I only care about Baumeister. And that's the kind of shit that happens in police stations across the country, everywhere. I only care about the guy I'm looking into. I give zero fucks about any other suspects. It happened in that case. It's happening in this case, in my opinion. And I just thought it was interesting when I saw that. Okay, I'm done with my digress. Let's get back.
So are still there.
Mm-hmm.
We have been in contact with him. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so on November 12th, which was the Saturday, were you down in Moscow then?
No.
Okay.
On the 12th, I was staying at my dad's house. I came back the day that like the police and everything showed up.
So you went back down on November 13th then, which was Sunday. Do you remember about what time you arrived back?
8 a.m.
Okay. How did you get back down there?
My dad drove me.
Okay. Okay. That was an early morning.
Yeah, he gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning for work.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, he's trying to get me to go to the gym with him in the mornings now.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Early riser. Okay, so you got down there about 8 a.m. Tell me about your morning.
So right when we got back down there, we went to Winco, me and my dad, because he was buying me groceries. And I was just kind of reconvening with Jordan.
I have to say, it was kind of cool. I just, I went to Moscow, Idaho, and drove that whole area. I went to that same Winco several times. And there's an extra element. There's an extra element when you're reading these cases and you're listening to these things, when you've been to the places they're talking about. Like I've walked into that Winco. I know exactly what Winco is talking about. I know how close it is to the campus. I know how close it is to the whites. I know. And I feel like in some regards, I'm not saying it makes me better, but it helps me understand the case better because I feel like I can put in perspective in my mind all of these places they're talking about.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Boyfriend.
Okay. Do you happen to know his last name?
Are they talking about a boyfriend of somebody?
Okay.
We'll never know because they redacted everything.
And we were just hanging out because he was going back down to.
So I heard, again, I could be wrong, but I heard it sounded like they were saying Boise because you heard just the start of the So somebody's boyfriend was heading down to Boise. A lot of these people are in Boise. I see your wheels turning, Robin. What's going on over there?
Oh no, it's just crazy.
All right, we will get through this interview. I almost assure you, because half of it's redacted. So how much can we? Talk about it? All right, hold on.
Okay.
And he was up visiting. and we were just kind of saying our last goodbyes because it was the last day there. He was leaving around 11 when everything kind of escalated with the police. And pretty much, yeah, we were just hanging out on the couch. I was on my phone. Came in and said he's gonna go check what's going on. He was gonna go check on.
Okay.
And I went with him and
his
girlfriend.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, how are we supposed to make any sense out of this shit? How was like what I think he said was, I think he's gagging on a giant cucumber is what I think he's doing, because that's all it sounds like to me. He's just gagging on a cucumber.
Agreed.
Anyways.
How do you spell her last name?
What? Pause secondly. Yeah. What did he mean? Things escalated with the police. Who's he talking
said
about
that I think he was saying a friend of his was going to go back to Boise, I think, at around 11, but things started to escalate around that time.
Amanda said, "Back it up just a little bit, Lee."
Back it up. How far do I need to back? What am I backing up for?
Back that ass
up.
Back that ass up. You can do it. Put your back into it. All right, hold on.
Everything
put your back.
Kind of escalated with the police.
All right, let's back up just a hair. Let's back up even more from that so we can get the context behind escalated with the police. All right, ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah. And we were just hanging out because he was going back down to
Boise, I think.
Okay.
And he was up visiting. And we were just kind of saying our last goodbyes because it was the last day there. He was leaving around 11 when everything kind of escalated with the police.
Did the call come in at 11:56 around noon?
That's what I 11:58. Yeah.
11:58. So granted, people can be wrong, right? People can be, but around 11, that's an hour off by my estimation. By around 11, police activity is happening and starting to escalate with the police. So to be fair, playing devil's advocates, his memory could be wrong. Maybe it was closer to 12, but he thinks it's closer to 11. Around 11, police activity. Well, how can that be? The 911 call hasn't been placed until 12.
Right.
Again, hearsay, memory, human memory, and he's just going by memory. Like maybe it was closer to 12. I don't know, but it does leave a question. Was there police activity around 11? He said 11 cops were there. His dad was leaving.
Yeah.
At 11, his cops were. Yeah, and again, who is the individual who's going back to Boise who was in town? See, that's the inquiring part of my mind that wants to know everybody who was there. Who was in town that weekend and just left before the police showed up? Who's leaving that he knows that he's saying his last goodbyes to when the police start showing up and is leaving to go back to town? Who was in town? Who was in town
for their last goodbye?
For their last goodbyes and was going back to leave right as the police are showing up at the crime scene. You know what I'm saying with that? You know what I'm saying? Like without saying it, what I'm saying? Like I would like to know who was in town for the weekend. Namin? Oh hell, I give up, Moonflower.
Amanda says it was his dad that was leaving?
Yes.
Okay, it could be. Okay, that would be fair. So nobody's suspicious in the case, right? Just his dad was in. I mean, I don't know.
Well, Amanda said his dad just dropped him off, though.
Right, his dad came and dropped him off, and then was going to head back. So maybe that's it. Maybe his dad was going to head back when the police activity started.
The way that he says it sounds like some kind of big farewell.
Yeah.
Like it's his last night, you know.
Right. That's why I was confused. It sounded like he's saying his last goodbyes. Well, your dad just dropped you off. Is that a big? Oh my God, I'm gonna miss you so much. You just dropped me off. I'm gonna miss you so much. I don't know.
Right.
I'm being an asshole, but
a little bit dramatic, right?
Right. All right. Let's keep going.
And pretty much, we were just hanging out on the couch. I was on my phone.
Somebody said he was going into the Navy or the Army. He's going into the
military of sort, yeah.
there's a lot of shit we don't know. This is why doing this live sucks. So maybe it was a big emotional goodbye. If father's dropping off his son, his son's going into the military, then maybe it was a big farewell, right? Maybe it is a big farewell. So maybe I'm an asshole. I don't know.
No, it's just that we haven't seen this, so we have to ask questions. No big deal.
It's all new to me.
Yeah.
He talks about it in this interview. What people are trying to say is, DA, shut the fuck up and just listen to the rest of the interview, is what she's trying to say in a polite way. All right, let's keep going.
Came in and said he's gonna go check what's going on over. He was gonna go check on.
Okay.
And went with him and
his
girlfriend.
Okay. How do you spell her last name?
Awesome.
Okay. So
shortest name in history.
He said he was going to go over to 1122 King Street. Do you know how he was asked to go over there, or why he was?
So are we talking about Hunter now? Are we talking about Hunter saying he's asked to go over to 1122 King? Okay, it's what I'm guessing. But fuck me, I keep making wrong guesses when I guess at what the hell's when I'm trying to make sense of, again, choking on a cucumber. Like I can't understand half the shit he says. That dude can gobble a cucumber. All right, let's keep going.
I don't know how or why. I just know that he came in, checked on us, and he was like, I'm gonna go check on him.
Okay. And to your knowledge, went with him?
Yes, to my knowledge.
Okay.
She walked down into our apartment with him because she lived right above us.
Okay.
Is that Emily or Josie? Who's the one that lives right above him I'm trying to make sense of this just to try to get my mind wrapped around it. So is he confirming Emily lives in the whites with him above him in the apartment? Is it Josie? Who is the person? It's EA?
I believe
is it Emily?
So.
Amanda thinks it's Emily. Amanda knows this shit. I don't know where Amanda finds the time for all this shit, but Amanda says it's Emily. Okay. What happened to AR? Why is people saying I'm sorry to hear about AR? What the fuck happened with AR?
Yeah, what's going on with AR?
What happened with AR? Did I miss something? Sorry, gang, but I gotta share. For those who love AR Hayes, he just posted a very disturbing note regarding his health and issues. Please visit chat if interested. Okay, yeah, I know AR Hayes has got a lot of medical issues going on, and I'm aware of that. You terrified the shit out of me. I thought like maybe he had a really not to say that his issues aren't serious.
No,
they are serious, but you fucking freaked me out there a little bit. All right, and not to say that isn't something important. It is, but all right, let's continue with what we're going on here.
Okay.
And so I was up there that morning, and then he came down, checked on me. He said hi because I had just got back into town. I was gone for a few days, and then he said he's gonna check on Dylan, and then he went.
It sounded like he said Dylan. I mean, I could be wrong because you get the redactions, but it sounded like he was going to go check on Dylan, which makes sense if Dylan called him and saying,
I think.
Because if Dylan called and said, can you come over here and check out the house? Something really happened pretty much at 4 a.m. and I'm scared and we're down here in the basement and we need you to come check it out. All right. So yes, Lee11 says Emily's apartment is in the whites above this guy and Hunter. Okay. Because look, this is the reason why I want to beat the hell out of this stick is there's been confusion on my part about where Emily and Hunter lived. Because some people, here's what we found out. And I think even Amanda found this. I'm not sure. So Amanda will have to kick my ass if I'm wrong. I thought Amanda confirmed that Emily Allance's name was on the lease or the paperwork for 1118, which is the house that's beside 1112, which is also besides 1122.
Yes.
So when Emily's name is on the paperwork as living there, I said, wait a minute. Hunter came over with Emily. Did they come over from 1118 or from the White's apartment? It makes a little bit of a difference. But then it was like, no, they said they were living at the Whites. So which one? That's why I was like, I'm confused. Emily's name is on the lease at 1118, but she's living at the Whites, which is a completely different address.
That's the way they all were. They were all on paperwork here, there, and yon, and yet living somewhere completely different half the time.
Right. Okay, fair enough. I just wanted to explain why I'm confused. And I'm still a little confused. Can I definitively say Emily and Hunter were living in the apartment above this guy and the Whites? No, because Emily's name is on the paperwork at 1118. So where was she living? Which place? I don't know. Fuck, this case is so confusing. Anyways.
Left. And then we saw the police go by.
Okay. When was the last time you have seen Xana?
The last time I saw Xana was probably 3 days before it happened.
Okay.
I guess when did you head back up?
I headed back up on Wednesday.
Okay. Okay. So 3 days before, you saw Xana.
Yeah.
Where'd you run into her at?
I was hanging out at an apartment.
Okay.
And Amanda says, I'm going to have to go. You're going to need to cover for me for a minute, guys. I'm going to make a point and I'm going to step away for just a minute because I got to refill my beverage of choice. But Amanda said she never saw, I think, Emily's name on the White's apartment. She did find Emily's name on 1118. So is the answer simply this? Did Hunter live in the Whites? Did Emily sign a lease at 1118? But because Emily and Hunter are dating, she spends all her time over at Hunter's place. And is that the confusion about why Emily lives at the Whites? Because maybe she's always hooking up, always staying at her boyfriend's place at the White. Like, can that be the answer on how somebody's name is on one piece of paper, but they say that they live at a different piece of paper? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Talk your ass off for a minute. I'll be right back.
Talk my ass off. That'll take a little while. Right. Yeah, why is his picture me?
Okay, Lee. Lee Robin.
I'm sorry, but that just tickles the hell out of me. Anyway, well, it's just like with Ethan. I mean, he was always at 1122, but he was so. I'm sorry, but that's totally fucking cracking me up. So I don't know, and it's like Ashland Couch. She was still on the lease, but she wasn't there, and Xana used to live at 1118, and then she moved, and so it's crazy. I'm looking at my picture. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like, why is his picture like that? I don't know. How did he get that there? I don't know. So anyhow, yeah, this case has been just confusing from the get-go, but these redactions are so freaking lovely, aren't they? My goodness, it's astonishing. And all the money that these people have paid for this stuff, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm his avatar. Hey, I guess there's worse avatars to have. Oh my God. But so yeah, and I mean, Kaylee lived at the Whites, and who knows where the hell they actually all belonged. There's people on the lease and stuff for 1122 that had graduated, for God's sake. They don't. So I don't know.
You know what, Robin? I was listening to you, and the funny thing about your picture being my picture, because you and I share like a login sometimes, and this happened from time to time. The other night, I was recording a show, and then I got done with my show, and then I thought, holy shit, Robin's backstage. I've been listening to my room the whole time. Like she's logged into my back. And it was because for some reason my login has changed to your picture. And I was like, holy shit, how embarrassed. What was I just doing that Robin's listening to my whole house? She's fucking backstage in my thing. But I don't know how it is that it switched my picture, but I got caught by that the other night. And I was like, oh my God, I just left Robin backstage.
That's funny.
And I even came on as like, Robin, are you there, Robin? And I was talking to myself because my picture was you.
I was going to say, you've definitely gotten a lot prettier, Lee. I like the picture.
Well,
better.
I do what I can. I mean, sometimes it's women's lingerie, sometimes it's taking away a picture, whatever it makes it to make myself look prettier.
Oh,
are you ready?
Okay, then.
All righty then. Let's get back to this. I like to keep it real. Let's go.
And when was the last time you saw Ethan?
I ran into Ethan the same day I saw Xana, but I was playing video games with him the same day it happened. But that doesn't matter.
So on Sunday morning?
No. On Saturday night.
Oh, hell, I digress. You look good without a beard. Fuck no. When I shave the goatee off my wife, it's like, oh my God, you look like a little boy. Fucking grow some hair on your face. Put some hair on your balls. Do something. Look like a man.
Grow some hair on your balls.
I'm sorry. All right, let's keep going. I digress. Right.
Okay,
before everyone went out, on the 12th.
So you're playing video games with him? Was it like online?
Yeah, it was online.
Okay, so you like.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Okay, let's take a moment. We got a little bit of time. It's a short interview. Let's take a moment. Do you remember this big weird theory that was going around that Ethan was playing League of Legends, and maybe Brian Koberger was also playing League of Legends, and maybe they met each other through playing League of Legends? Do you remember this shit?
I do.
That was supposedly the connection between them. So now we hear all this talk again about they're playing video games together and what's their gamer tag and blah, blah, blah.
What would be interesting is if the gaming set was left on.
Yeah, it's a good point. That's a good point. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Because if so, just speculation, but if so, what was overheard on the gaming console?
God, I was terrified when I thought you had microphones in my house. I was like, oh my God, what did Robin over here? Yeah. So anyways, also if you leave your Xbox, oh my God, I got a story about the Xbox. Oh my God. Hold on. We're digressing because Dago stepped away. Check this out. I had an Xbox. In my previous marriage, I had a young daughter-in-law. Is that what you got? Stepdaughter. I had a young stepdaughter that was my wife's daughter. And she had a friend over. And one day I heard a scream from the living room. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And the girls were playing my Xbox. What I didn't realize is that my Xbox has hooked up to my computer and showed the hard drive contents, including adult photos that showed up on the. And I heard this like, oh my God, what is that? And I'm like, what the fuck? Why would the Xbox ever connect to my hard drive and show my fucking contents on my hard drive? I was mortified. It was the most horrible experience I think I've had in most of my years. It was horrifying.
Most of my years. Yeah, because we all know that this is the kind of shit that happens to you.
That's why I tell people, no, I will not let you have access to my computer. Are you fucking kidding me? No, you're not allowed to touch my phone, my computer, my internet history. Microsoft can go screw themselves. They literally gave an underage girl access to my hard drive. Major mistake. You need therapy. After you see my hard drives. No, not allowed to do that. All right, let's get back on this. Okay, here we go.
Makes more sense because if you would have been in Wrath.
Yeah. Okay. No, we were playing an online game.
Okay.
I've got stories.
Stories for days.
I have got stories. We're gonna let that one go, but I've got stories. All right. So, anyways,
which game was it?
We were playing.
We can't even know what game they were playing?
Right. What?
How many people play?
Right. What? Robin, what is the fucking secret of what computer game they're playing? And
How
again,
is that
maybe
relevant
the secret
to
is
the
because they don't want to. How is the... What were you playing? Who gives a shit if it was Rocket League or Basketball Junkies or whatever the fuck you're playing? Who cares? Why is it redacted? Apex Legends, League of Legends, Rocket League. Is it Apex Legends? How do we know this? Do they say it later on? Do they not redact it?
I don't know.
Maybe that's why your first wife divorced me. No, there's a whole plethora of reasons why I got divorced the first time. That's not one of them. Unfortunately, fortunately, that's not one of them. Anyway, all right, let's keep going.
Play that game at one time.
It's normally 3 people at one time.
Okay. Who else was on with you? Okay.
Jordan? What?
Jordan?
Do you know about what time you were playing that with him? What time he was on with you, I guess?
Like 6 p.m. And then he said at the end, he goes, we played a few games and not nearly as much as we normally play because we just reconvene. And then he just abruptly said, I got to go. Bye.
Okay.
Oh. So is this, I don't know the facts on this. Somebody said Maddie Thornton, the roommate, and Jordan Buckhart, her boyfriend. Interesting.
Oh,
These are names I'm not familiar with. I'm reading the chat. It's the best.
Yep.
All right. So, all right, let's keep going.
Do you remember about what time that was?
Probably around 6:30.
Okay.
I'll be back.
And you remember him saying something akin to, I gotta go by?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know...
I know her mutually, mostly.
Okay.
I know Matt and Kaylee mutually because I'm also from and Kaylee lived like down the road, but I'm more familiar with Kaylee's.
Okay.
Younger what?
Kaylee's
younger what? Younger what? I'm more familiar with Kaylee's younger.
Little? Maybe
that's what I was wondering. Is it
little?
Little from a sorority, or is it Kaylee's younger sister?
Yeah.
Does she have a younger sister? All right. Well, we don't know because it's redacted to piss. All right.
It says it's
are you ready?
Jakey's younger sister.
Jakey's younger sister. He just said Kaylee. He just said, hold on. Let's back that ass up and let's listen to it.
Back that ass up.
Okay. Do you remember about what time that was?
Probably around 6:30.
Okay.
I'll be back.
And you remember him saying something akin to, I gotta go by?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know...
I know her I know her mutually, mostly.
Okay.
I know Matt and Kaylee mutually because I'm also from and Kaylee lived like down the road, but I'm more familiar with Kaylee's.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kaylee's younger.
Kaylee's younger sister.
Go to.
I went to.
Yeah.
You went to like
Autumn and Aubrey.
Okay.
Autumn and Aubrey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep going.
So you just consider yourself more of an acquaintance?
I consider myself more of an acquaintance with them.
Okay. Are you on any social media with them?
No.
Okay. Are you on any social media with Zaina?
I could be on.
But
I don't think I am.
Okay.
What the hell?
I've kind of just stayed out of the picture.
Could be.
I could be.
Well, I mean,
but I don't know.
To be fair, I'll play devil's advocates. I've got people on my friends lists on various social media that I couldn't definitively say they're not there. So if someone says, hey, do you have this so-and-so on your friends list? Could be. I don't know. I don't fucking check Facebook very enough. I got like friends on Facebook that I may not even know I've got on friends. So I can see that.
I guess, whatever.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep going.
Pictures. So.
Okay.
and so I'm normally the one doing all the pictures, and so I'm normally out of them.
Okay. Okay. So you think that you're on Zaina's Instagram?
No, with Xana.
Okay. Gotcha.
Maybe.
Any social media?
You notice it's a small bitch, but you notice how the officer constantly says Zaina, and he constantly corrects Xana, but she refuses to change the pronunciation. Yeah. She's Zaina, and he's like,
every
Xana.
Interview Layman's done, she says the same thing, and it's like everybody's corrected her, and she still says it. It's like, Jesus Christ, Chick, get a clue.
You say tomato, I say tomato. I've been there.
Big difference. Zaina, come on.
Okay. But a lot of the pictures that were taken out of I was there.
Okay. Oh, okay. So when was the last time you were up there?
Just this summer.
Okay. Okay.
Up where? Coeur d'Alene? So
yeah.
So let me explain something. If he's friends with Kaylee's younger sister, and if she's not living in Moscow, she's living in Coeur d'Alene, where they all came from, it would make sense if he says, I know her sister and I know them from up there. It would probably be Coeur d'Alene. And I'm a devil's in the details kind of guy. So who knows them from Coeur d'Alene is important to me, because I've got theories about Coeur d'Alene. I've got theories about what came from Coeur d'Alene. So I just want to clarify. Am I completely wrong? Is it possible that he knows Kaylee's little sister from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho? I'm just curious. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, but I'm just curious if that's possible.
What is her age and what is his age? And that's what my question is.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry.
But if he lived in Coeur d'Alene,
you're part of that friend group, but you're not on anybody's socials. Ethan's your best friend, but you're not on Xana.
Or Rathdrum.
Xana's, right. Yeah.
Or Rathdrum. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a question I have. And I would say if he did live or was around Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, I would understand why he knew Kaylee's younger sister, because I wouldn't expect Kaylee's younger sister to be in Moscow, Idaho. But maybe if he knew them from Coeur d'Alene. And let me make sure that people are aware of this. I mean, 3 out of 4 of the victims are tied to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Jack DeCoeur, Kaylee Gonzalez were boyfriend and girlfriend in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Xana was in Post Falls, Idaho, but she would come to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho on a regular basis on the summers and hang out with them. They're all Coeur d'Alene people. Maddie, Coeur d'Alene people as well. So Ethan really is the only victim that didn't come directly from Coeur d'Alene, but then he was dating one of the girls. And I had said before, if a beef of some kind followed them from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and somebody wanted to take out, because they're all friends, they've all known each other since high school. They've been friends for a long time. So if somebody wanted to take out that group of friends, that social circle, you and all your little friends, Ethan could have been collateral damage because the 3 of them are connected to Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. It's just something I've always thought, but I haven't spent a lot of time with. All right. Do you think we can get through this last hour? And we got 22 minutes left to go in an hour.
Sure.
Let's do it. We'll do it fucking live. Half of it's redacted anyways. Let's do it.
So one of the things that we're working through right now, it's a slog, is we're eliminating people.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of where we're at. One of the things we're asking for is what's called a buccal swab. It's a DNA swab of the inside of people's mouths. We have that. From there, we get the DNA from that, and we can say, obviously you said you've been there.
I've been there.
When was the last time you were inside the King Street apartment?
Earlier that week.
Okay.
It could have been earlier than that, but I'm pretty sure it was earlier that week.
So just to clarify, it sounds like they're getting ready to ask for a buccal swab from him to compare him to DNA left at the crime scene. And he's admitting, in a way, my DNA is likely to be at the crime scene because I was there not too long ago. So just stick that all in your Kamasuchi loose leaf pipe and puff on it for a while. All right.
Okay.
I'm not 100% on that, but I wasn't there shortly before it happened. I wasn't.
Okay. Okay. So when you're there, do you ever go into the bedrooms at all?
Just Anna's bedroom.
Okay.
And I normally just sit on her bed and hang out.
Okay.
And then the living room. Mainly, whenever I go there, I'm normally in the back.
Okay.
And then I was in I was in Madison's room before, like the last time I was there, I was in Madison's room.
And I am not saying he's a suspect, but what he is saying is, yeah, you're going to find my DNA in Xana's room and Maddie's room, the two rooms that people were killed in. You're going to find my DNA there probably because I've been in both those rooms.
Right.
And I'm not saying that means anything. A whole lot of people's DNA is probably in there. And a whole lot of people's, you know who's not in their rooms? Brian Koberger's DNA, except for on a knife sheath on a little grain of sand size. His DNA is not all over the crime scenes, but I bet you these people's DNA is all over those crime scenes.
Ding,
Thank
ding,
you for the gifted membership, by the way, Deidre. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yes,
so much. I love it. Thank you. Thank you.
Congrats to Gulf Coast Bum on your membership that you received from Deirdre 92.
Perfect. Let's do this.
With my friends, just hanging out because they were friends with me.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, and Deidre also donated on Dago's side, a membership over there. So Deidre showing some equal opportunity love to both channels. Thank you so much. That's very, very cool. Dago's kind of muted right now. Hopefully he's still around, but if not, I will say thank you on his behalf. Thank you very much.
All right. So the night of the 12th into the early morning hours of the 13th, you were up here. Okay. All right. Do you have any from that 24 to 48 hour period, any Instagrams, Snapchats, or anything with any of the people involved, any Xana, Ethan, or any of them?
During the time that it happened?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay.
I was in contact.
That question alone is super interesting to me, and maybe I'm making a big deal out of it. They're asking if he had any Snapchats going on with the people who are murdered at the house during the time. And he's like, not during the time that it happened. Because there's all kinds of Snapchat communications, group communications going on during really, really interesting periods during the murder. And we've all asked what was being sent around, who saw what pictures were going around, what was happening with all the mysterious Snapchat messages going on when supposedly everyone was asleep. Everyone's asleep. Everyone was attacked in their sleep, and the people fell asleep right after the murders happened, and everybody was asleep in the house. Yet we know that's not true because they were on Snapchat and they were sending messages all over the place. And she asks, did you get any Snapchat messages from the group text or whatever? Nah, not during that time. But I find that interesting because I think we would all like to know what the fuck everybody was Snapchatting about during that window.
Exactly.
Anyways.
I didn't text Ethan until after I knew something bad had happened.
Okay.
Because
is it happy birthday to Cat Farm? Is it Cat Farm's birthday? Did I miss
just
that?
Like isolated myself, give myself.
Is it?
People are saying happy birthday to Cat Farm. Cat Farm, happy birthday. If I missed it, I didn't know it was a birthday. I'm going to have to catch up the rest tomorrow. I have a busy birthday night. I had a busy birthday. Well, it could have been her birthday, or it could have been a family member's birthday. I guess we're not clear about that. So I don't know if it's Cat Farm's birthday or not. But anyways, if it is, happy birthday. Sorry, I suck at birthdays. I suck at my own family's birthdays for what it's worth. But all right. Let's keep going, or we're never going to finish this last 20 minutes.
Refresher, brain clear, because I was doing exams for my classes, and so I was just kind of hanging out with my dad, and I didn't really check my phone.
Okay. In your time around any of them, and I realize it's probably Xana more than Maddie or Kaylee, but have they ever mentioned any issues with feeling unsafe?
No. Xana was like the happiest person I ever met. I mean, I thought she could conquer the world. Every time I was with her, just super bright light, like always happy. I never saw her angry. And so when everything happened, I was super baffled. But no, she never mentioned anything about feeling unsafe.
Okay. How about as you're around your apartment complex there? Have you ever heard something, seen something, heard somebody say something that, as you sit back and think about it, is kind of a red flag?
There's just been like fights.
Okay.
Oh shit!
Like fist fights?
Yeah. Between just a bunch of random people that are throwing parties at my apartment complex, or just people are having a quarrel. But there's been a few fist fights out in the parking lot of my apartment complex.
Okay. So how long have you lived in the Whites? So how many fights do you think you've witnessed?
Probably about 2 there.
Okay. Like draw blood kind of fist throwing fights?
Yeah, I mean like 5-on-5 people.
Okay.
5-on-5 people.
Yeah, that sounds like a gang fight, 5-on-5,
right?
Or 2 fraternities fighting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an important thing. Remember, we saw all the blood all over the pictures in the Whites, that
exactly
on the Whites apartment, on the railing, on the floor, against the wall. Was it a 5-on-5 quote unquote fist fight that happened right outside the Whites? Does that explain all the blood? So that's question number 1. So if it does, and that's fine. I would love that if police investigated that and said, hey, look, we see this mysterious blood over here really near the crime scene. Can you explain what happened? Oh, yeah, it was a 5-on-5 fight, and here's the 5 guys versus the 5 guys, and we can identify all of them, and we can rule it out that nobody was involved with the fight. But I don't even know that law enforcement ever looked into all the blood all over the Whites' apartments, and whether or not it came from somebody covered in blood from 1122 that came back to the Whites' apartments, or whether it was from the 5-on-5. And what I don't know is the 5-on-5 fist fight from the night of the murders, or just a fight that he saw at some point? Because did he say? Because he said he's seen fights there, including
he said
a
that
5-on-5 fight.
Yeah.
Was that the very night?
Well, he said that there's been
Fight
fights.
Club?
Yeah, multiple fights going on. So I'm not 100% sure on that either.
Yeah.
Do we believe, panelists, let's talk from it. Do we believe that there was a fight club situation going on there, that people would fight for money on and televise their fights, and there was some kind of fight club thing going on? Do we believe that that's true, or do you guys think that's bullshit?
I believe it partially because I've seen.
Yes.
I looked it up because there are things like other campuses, colleges where this happens. It was going on. I did a video on one that they were caught by the police doing it. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I could very well see that happening. And of course they're going to keep it quiet as they can.
So I need to know from this perspective, because I'm a curious person. Did colleges doing a fight club thing get inspired by the movie Fight Club, or was it the other way around? Was this a phenomenon going on, and then Fight Club made a movie out of the Fight Club phenomenon?
Well, Fight Club came out like 20, almost 30 years ago, I think it was, and this is a newer thing within the college. So
yeah, so did college kids start picking up the idea? That's really cool. Let's have a fight club because we're.
I mean, it could have been the movie, or it could have just been something they thought they come up with on their own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so let's talk about the rumors for just a moment. Some people think that outside the grub truck, people are watching their phones and are watching some kind of paid fight club kind of thing, where they were paying money to watch a fight club, and it had Ethan and it had Xana, and people are cheering and saying, "Go Xana, go Ethan." Do you think that have you dispelled those rumors that is not what was happening? Dago's like, yeah, we've dispelled that shit.
I've never believed that. I zoomed in. I watched as much as I could from those. That's not what I saw. But, I mean, everybody has the right to their feelings and opinions. I've never believed that. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I don't think that's what was going on that night. That's not what I saw, what I heard. So, my opinion.
Have any, to your knowledge, Dago, has anything explained the quote unquote $6 Venmo payments that people were receiving? There was this big talk about lots of phones had a $6 Venmo payment, and that was supposed to be buying into watching the fight clubs. Did you ever delve into that?
I looked into it a little bit, but I can't. There's no way to prove anything.
Yeah, so there's nothing substantiated.
No,
either way, really.
Absolutely.
There were a lot of weird. And I want to bring up Venmos going around.
A lot of them.
Various things.
Yeah. And I want to state that I don't think it's the case too, but it's something that I always have paid attention to, because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there was a televised or a recorded fight of some kind, and did that spill up? Like did Ethan get his ass, because there's an argument that made that Ethan got his ass kicked at a fight club kind of thing, but that doesn't make a lot of sense, because I don't think the autopsy report shows bruising into his face like he got his ass kicked in a fight.
No.
Stab wounds, yes, but I don't see any bruising, broken nose like he got in a fist fight with somebody. So I just don't feel like it's consistent.
Not with any of them. It wasn't in the autopsy results. And I did wonder when we got the photographs of the blood that was found. Hi, Rhonda. The blood that was found at the White Apartments, where the bracelet was laying on the ground and things like that. I started wondering, was that from a fight? The way the blood was smeared and, the bracelet ripped off laying on the ground could have been from somebody's arm getting grabbed and pulled in the midst of a fight. So at that point, I believe it's very possible, and I've heard the video I was watching that I did, this was years ago though, men and women do it. It's guys and girls doing it, which is wild to me, but it's a thing. So did it go on that night? I don't know. Is it something that is possible for? Of course it is. But, and here's my question. I think it goes, I've had people that said that they thought that the fight club thing was happening and somebody took advantage of somebody else with it and overtook them, and that person got pissed and went back and took care of it and got a little carried away with it. I think it goes bigger than that, guys. With everything we've seen, I think it's way deeper than that. So this is not just somebody pissed off because they lost a fight. You know what I mean?
Right. But it's something, but it's worth thinking about, because again, motives for murder. So if somebody got humiliated and got their ass kicked, could they, if they felt like the fight was unfair and they got their ass kicked on camera in front of a bunch of people, but it was unfair, could they go back and get revenge and be like, fuck you, I'm going to finish this thing once and for all kind of thing? And in their rage, because they've been humiliated in a fight, go back and kill somebody, and then it turns into a collateral damage and other people get killed. And
I mean, that's absolutely possible, but explain to me why they would cover that up rather than just say, a bunch of kids got into a fight and here's what happened.
Right.
That's my big issue with something like that.
I agree. All right, let's finish this interview up, because I'm at the pace to suck at this. So let's keep going.
Okay. And have you ever been involved in any of those?
One?
Yeah. One?
What it sounds like
he's been involved in a fight?
Yeah.
I didn't fight enough. As a young. I should have gotten in more fights. Like, I didn't get in fights. Like, I should have been in fights. Like, all these people are fighting. They're all badasses. This is why they call me a weak guy, because I didn't fight enough. I need to fight more. We're still playing the video, by the way. I'm talking over Redactions. This is
Redaction. Yeah. It's pathetic, isn't it? That's all I used to do when I was a kid, was fight, and mainly because I was bullied when I was little until I got older, and then it stopped. So.
I'm going to tell a story. Are you ready? It's story time. The only time I've been punched in the fucking face and I missed my only opportunity for a real fight. I shit you not. I was going to get this. I was going to church school and I was on a bus and I was 7th grade maybe. And I bent over on a bus and I came up, and apparently when I came up, I elbowed a kid in the nuts. Inadvertently. I was picking something off the ground. There was no beef between me and the guy, and he slugged me in the face. And it took me a moment to realize what just happened. I just got fucking punched in the face out of fucking nowhere. It's like clocked, like bam. And I reared back my hand to punch back, and the bus driver was all over us and grabbed me before I could throw the punch and I got kicked out of school and expelled for fighting. And I'm like, I never get the fucking throw a punch. Like, let me at least hit the guy in the face before I get kicked out of for fighting. Like, I got clocked, got a black eye, the whole 9 yards. That's my whole fight. That's my whole real life. Punched in the face and never got. I was robbed of my moment of glory. I would have kicked the shit out of that 7th grader. I would have beat the shit out of him. But anyways, I missed my opportunity.
Because you elbowed somebody and he got pissed and hammered you.
Right, because he claimed I hit him in the nuts, and that was the start of the fight, and then he just punched me back. I never like.
So you don't even get the integrity.
I feel robbed and emasculated as a man because I should have beat his ass on the bus.
I agree on that one. That's a bit. That sucks.
I got robbed. I got robbed.
You did on that one for sure.
However, I've been toe to toe with plenty of guys that never turned into anybody throwing punches. So there's that at least. All right, let's go. We're still redacted, apparently. Oh yeah, I'm playing. This is good, solid shit right here. We're playing. Hear it?
Come Dr. Wade.
Yeah.
Jenny's like, we need to get Lee in a bar fight.
Did you ever find out who he was?
No clue who he was.
You haven't? Have you seen him since?
No. I asked multiple people that lived in the apartment complex if they knew who he was, and no one knew who he was.
When was this about?
This was towards the early in the semester.
What are we talking about?
September.
Okay. Did he appear to be a student?
He looked around my age, but I don't know if he was a student. Like I said, I've never seen the person before, and I've been very involved on campus. Okay. And normally the people that are wandering over that way, I know.
Okay. And you didn't recognize any of his buddies that showed up?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Did they all look to be about student age?
Yeah, they all looked about to be my age, and the only possibility that they could be students is that they lived in the dorms, because I don't really know anyone that lives in the dorms.
Okay.
But other than that,
Are we still talking about the 5-on-5 fight?
I have no idea who they were.
That's what I was wondering.
I don't think so.
No.
Your roommate, has she ever said anything that she's felt unsafe at anything that's ever?
No, she just felt unsafe if we would leave the door unlocked.
Okay.
So we all had our keys on us at all times and just locked the door, because she knows that area where King Street and Taylor Street meet is like a big party place, and she knows that people will be coming in and out of places drunk, and so she doesn't want just drunk people walking in.
Right.
And that itself should not be overlooked. That neighborhood, Taylor and King, which we've been to a couple times, is a big party place. That particular neighborhood off campus is known as a party place, that whole neighborhood. And that should not be overlooked, because again, if you're a killer looking to do some random act of violence, do you pick a tight neighborhood with tons of people driving all over the place in a party area to go commit murder and think you're like, why wouldn't you pick something out remote a little bit where there's not, like, why would you pick, I don't know. I know some people disagree with me, but I just don't feel like, I feel like someone picked that place because the target, it didn't matter where they were. That target was taken out that weekend because they were there that weekend. And that was going to happen no matter fucking where they were.
Yeah.
That person took a risk because that person was going to die that weekend. And it didn't matter where you were. It was a huge risk for them, the group perhaps, to do it right where it was at. It's a super risky place to do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's just me.
But that's the only time she's mentioned feeling unsafe.
Okay. Tim, anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I have the swabs here. I'm going to ask, I don't
buccal
have
swabs.
any
Or
release
buccal
forms
swabs.
though. Do we need?
As long as it's recorded.
Yeah, we're good. Do you mind giving a swab?
I can give a swab.
Okay. It's pretty short and sweet, and I will tell you that this is only used as elimination for this case only, so it doesn't go into any kind of like national.
I mean, maybe it's just me, but I think if I don't want to be an asshole, but if police officers ask me to voluntarily give them a buccal swab to eliminate me from a crime scene, the answer is fuck and no, and I want a lawyer. Like, you're not
get a
taking
warrant.
my DNA
Get a warrant.
so that you can then have my DNA and place it at the fucking crime scene. Fuck no, you're
Get
not
a
getting
warrant.
my DNA. Anyway,
I agree with that, especially nowadays.
Or anything like that.
Okay.
So you're heading off now to go.
Redact away.
Redact my ass.
Hey.
I mean, the whole thing about not giving your DNA, like people say, if you don't have anything to hide, why would you not do it voluntarily? You don't have
because
anything
of
to
this
hide,
case right here.
I don't.
This is exactly why.
Trust the system.
Honest to God, before this case hit, I probably would have. Not now. Fuck you. No way. No how. No.
And just so people know, we're playing the audio. Like we're talking. We're not paused. That's all redaction right there. Yeah, they're doing this buccal swab. It's all or buccal swab. It's all
redacted.
And all you're gonna hear is him like doing the whole cucumber thing again because he's gonna have his mouth open. And he's gonna be, And this is still playing. It's still playing, people.
This is unreal.
Redacted.
I mean, I got to double check. Yeah, it's still playing. 22, 53, 54.
Dude, I told you.
56. Yeah, it's rolling. It's rolling.
If 3/4 of this video is redacted, there's
a
more
mouthful
redacted
of sausages.
Than not.
One.
Oh, here we go again.
Here we go.
Don't start with the
sausage. Balls deep in the sausage.
I can't handle sausage. Balls deep to the sausage.
Guy's not the brightest.
Nope.
Shovel in the
He's
yard.
Not the brightest shovel in the tool yard.
Nope.
Tool shed. Not the brightest shovel in the tool yard. Tool shed. Yeah, I don't know.
He's not the sharpest shovel, the brightest shovel in the backyard. That's right.
Yeah, that's what it was. The brightest shovel in the backyard.
That night was something else, y'all.
Oh my God. Dog.
Dog. Come on,
I didn't hit anybody, dog.
What's up, dog?
I couldn't even walk straight.
I didn't even get in a fight, dog. We're still redacted. We're still playing this interview.
Oh,
By the
here
way,
we go.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm gonna walk us all in here.
Right.
Okay, I always try to pre-fold it because it's a pain. They don't make these user-friendly.
No.
Like,
lead singer from the Village People passed away.
Oh, now it's all smeared. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do, we do 2 swabs. I'm just going to stick them right in the side of your mouth here, up against.
Wait a minute. All of that redaction, they weren't even doing the buccal swabs. They're still getting to the buccal swabs. Like they're still going to start. What the fuck was redacted for like 27 hours? I might exaggerate the time there a bit, but what the hell? Okay.
Cheek and just rub for about 5-10 seconds. Perfect. Thank you. What are we missing?
And explain to me. Wait a minute. Explain to me this. We want to take a buccal swab to eliminate you from the crime scene, but he just admitted he goes over to the crime scene on a regular basis, sits on Xana's bed, has been in Maddie's bed. So explain to me how exactly he's ruled out when his DNA probably is at the crime scene.
Great question.
Yep.
Riddle me this.
Riddle me this. How the fuck does that rule you out when you just said you're over there all the time?
I want to know how they ruled out 300 other people. Oh, right, 1-1. Please arrest me.
Yeah.
Please arrest me. Please arrest me. Look, it's whatever. Okay, let's keep going.
I mean, as we're going through this, we're trying to gather as much information.
Wait, no, I can't let it go. I can't let it go. if I have a friend and I go to my friend's house all the time and he's in town, I go to my friend's house all the time, and then he gets murdered, but I had nothing to do with it. And someone says to me, hey, can I get a buccal swab to see if your DNA is at his house? Well, fuck yeah, it's going to be at his house. I'm over there all the time. So no, you can't just get no, because you're not going to pull the shit of, hey, look, his DNA was at the house. Well, yeah, it's at the house. I'm over there all the time.
That's a real easy out.
Yep.
Anyways, all right, I'm out. I continue.
As we can. Have you thought of anything that's like, oh man, they need to be looking here?
No, I haven't thought of anything. It's like I said, it's all like people that go to their house is all people that I'm acquainted with at least.
Okay.
And so, I mean, obviously it's hard for me to fathom any of them doing anything like this.
So you've never had anybody that you've seen that's awkward with firearms, weapons of any kind?
No.
Okay.
I mean, most of the kids that I hung out with there seemed to be normal.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is a total digress. What? One of the village people has passed away. We need to know what letter. So when we're singing the song, we don't sing that letter anymore.
It'll have to be
CA.
It'll have to be redacted.
Yeah, it'll have to be redacted.
Oh, shit. I don't know why I find that funny.
Wow,
I find it
Micro.
so funny.
Sorry.
Micro, you're gonna burn in hell for that shit. But thank you very much for that moment.
And you're going right behind him because you laugh.
I know.
There's a few kids that I haven't really talked to. I mean, I know of them and I've had conversations with them, but like I said, most of the people there, we're all friends.
Okay.
Nobody's ever stuck out like a random person that's come across or like never come out of anywhere.
No, there's been like every time I've been there's been zero random people that just come out of the blue there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really weird to think about because I mean, from what I'm understanding, they went through the slider door. Only people that have been there often would know that that's always unlocked.
Okay.
Because that they left it unlocked for their friends to come in when they can't make it home, or they just need somewhere to stay, or they need people to talk to. I mean, that was always just an option to go to if you just need.
So what does that say then? What the fuck does that say then? Only the people that know them real well would know that door's open to go there to do this because they know the door's unlocked. Again,
Brian Koberger has no connection to anybody at the house. He has not. Right. I agree. Somebody might actually know that house and know that it's always open, but that's not Brian Koberger. Because according to the official prosecution, Brian Koberger just randomly picked that house, and they don't know how he picked the house or why he did it, and drove around thinking about it and decided to do it last minute. Didn't know if it was going to be locked or not. Didn't bring a weapon to break into the house. Like, come on.
Saw 5 cars in the driveway and all the lights on and said, yeah, I'm going to jump in that one and go kill 4 people. Of course.
Yeah, clip some fog lights on to the car.
Oh, don't go there.
I want to ask this question. It's a rhetorical question. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it. So Jeff H is in the chat under one of his usernames, and that's fine. And it's a rhetorical question. I don't expect to spend time on it, but I just wonder. I feel like at heart, Jeff H has a good soul at heart, even though he obviously believes Brian Koberger is guilty, plain and simple. And so he heckles people who question it because for him, it's obvious he did it. I just want to know, I would love to have Jeff H on if post-conviction relief gets filed and or this becomes a national case of habeas corpus, a United States case because of something, or if a prosecutor or defense attorney gets arrested due to bullshit. I would love it. And Amanda's already timed him out. But I would love it. I would love to know if Jeff would be brave enough to come on and say, hey, man, maybe he had something going there or not.
Hell no.
And again, we're not there yet. So I feel like he will. I
don't think it'll ever happen, Lee.
But okay, well, for what it's worth, I'm just throwing it out there in the ether. That's my wish.
I think that if that ever happens, that he will disappear. That's my opinion.
That'll just be it. It'll be like, I'm done. I can't heckle anymore.
Oh no, because think about what'll happen.
He'll still heckle. Yeah.
What? Yeah, you're right. You're probably right. He'll find some way to do it.
Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. We're almost done. People, we got 10 minutes left of the interview and 20. I better shut up. I need to shut up because I got 10 minutes left of the interview and only 20 minutes to do it in. Let's keep going.
You need someone to talk to, or you needed to escape from like what was going on with school or something for a minute. Like that was just the place that everyone went to. I mean, and no one that's random just went there. It was a little further than everywhere else that people went to go party. And it was just a spot for friends. I mean, I don't know. I have a feeling that it's someone that I know that did it, but I don't know who.
Okay.
Like once this person gets caught, I have a feeling.
Play that back.
Just to reiterate what he's saying, he thinks that somebody who has to know somebody at the house is the one who did it, because it's not something random person would do. It would be somebody who knows the house and knows that it's always open. It'd be somebody who knows something about the house that did it.
Yep.
That's what he's saying. Right?
And that's, yes, sir. And that is not Brian Koberger.
Not according to the prosecution, because they have no idea how their exact words. We tried really hard to make a connection between Brian Koberger and anybody in the house, and we couldn't do it.
Exact words.
Who it was, like who the person is.
Okay.
But that's just based off of my personal experiences there. I've never had any random person come up to that place. It's always been people that I've known or people that live there now.
Okay.
And like I said, the only someone that has been there would know that slider door is always unlocked, or someone that's been watching. Because every time I went through there, I mean, they have a passcode on their front. They had a passcode on the front door.
Right.
And a lot of people, they knew the passcode, but I never bothered to ask because I always knew the slider door was unlocked. I'd just walk up the rocks.
I mean, that's all interesting. Everybody who came and went to that house knew the sliding glass door was always unlocked. So you didn't need to have the front door code, because everybody knew the house. Everybody who knew the house knew that the slider glass door was unlocked all the time.
Yep.
So did Brian Koberger know a lot about the house? Did he know that the sliding glass door was always unlocked? Or could you logically conclude that the killer knew that the sliding glass door was unlocked, but Brian Koberger couldn't have known that? Shouldn't Brian Koberger have brought some kind of device to break into the house? It sounds like whoever came to the house knew that the sliding glass door was going to be unlocked. And that's, of course, precluding that they did come in from the sliding glass door, because I'm not sure that they did come in from the sliding glass door.
Nope.
You are correct, sir.
Right,
you are correct.
Okay. Okay.
Well, if there's anything, between now and whenever, if you
if I think of someone or I hear of something, I'm coming straight to the authorities. I mean, this has been on my mind every single day. I mean, I'm back home, and it's hard for me during the holiday season to wrap my head around all this.
Love it. Love it.
Great.
Love it. Well said, sir. Well said.
We definitely got to make sure. Definitely got to make sure they redact him saying he can't wrap his head around it. That's important to hide.
Yes.
Yeah. Whatever's going on is clearly very confidential.
Are you serious? They fucking redact verbs, nouns, and adverbs. Come on.
I want to wait until he gets talking again before I pause, so you can see how long this is all redacted still. All of this is redacted. Just a random thought about how he's thinking about the case. All this is redacted. Still ongoing. Redacted.
Right. And I do agree with Janae. This guy has probably been one of the most authentic people they've interviewed. I agree with that.
Still redacted. OMF.
Right, Amanda. R.
It's still redacted.
E. D. A. C. T. E. D.
Redacted.
And it's sad that you had the time to spell that shit out at that speed. It's still redacted.
I could have done it 5 times and then some, bro. Let's have a spelling bee and see who wins. This is insane.
We're still. I'm still playing. I'm going to wait until he talks before I pause.
This shouldn't be legal.
Redacted. That's my point. I'm getting to that. Hold on. Let's keep going. Oh my God. It's still redacted.
Yeah, I remember this one. I think it almost redacts almost to the end.
No.
I'm pretty sure it goes pretty close to the end.
Redactions of this level should be illegal. There's no this fucking kind of blanket redaction it's not covering. It's not covering personal identifiable information. It's ridiculous amount. It's still going. It's still redacted. You tell me what legal. The fuck they're hiding right there.
You know,
are you kidding me?
Beth,
there. How long was that fucking redaction? That was just a thought about how he thought about things.
6 minutes.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
And take into consideration how many of those have happened throughout this entire interview. Look at the length of the interview and subtract that period of time. If we could do that, I'm telling you, 3/4 of this interview is non-existent.
How much did they have to pay to get this interview that half of it's redacted?
It was like somebody said like $160 or something like that for this one.
They are over redacting shit. And here's the problem. What recourse do we have? What recourse does the public have to say, I think you over redacted? Because we don't know what they redacted. That's the whole point. You can't say that they improperly redacted if you don't know what they redacted. So how do you fire back to say you over redacted? Other than just use logic to say there's no fucking reason why you should have 5 total minutes redacted. That's not a redaction. That's over redaction. There's
honestly,
no way you should blank out an entire conversation.
In my opinion, I don't think anything other than a person's name, their address, or like a social security number or
social
phone
security number. Yeah.
Nothing else beyond that should be redacted. And I know damn well that is not how this has gone with any of these.
All right. We got 5 minutes and 25 seconds left of the video and about 10 minutes left to play it in. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm friends with.
Okay.
So my 4 friends that lived there were Xana and Ethan. Ethan was one of my best friends. And Xana was one of my best friends.
My best friend. Ethan had a lot of best friends.
And we're back to redacting, everybody. Welcome back to Redacting 101. Here we go again.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's how I met them.
We now introduce you to
Redactions. I became
Redactions.
friends with them.
Okay.
And then Maddie and Kaylee were a little bit older.
Okay.
And so every time that I was around, they weren't really around.
Okay.
And so I've met them a few times. Like I said, I've hung out with them like twice with all my friends. But that's about it.
Okay. Have you touched base at all with them?
Yeah, not I really just kind of asked how they were doing.
Okay.
I mean, I was trying to let them
Awesome. Awesome.
So I just kind of asked them how they were doing and told them to let me know if they need anything at all.
We could do Mystery Science Theater. We could do Mystery Science Theater all over this.
Oh, yeah.
If it was video, it'd be so much easier and that'd be a blast, Lee. I mean, look, the whole fucking video is redacted.
I love Seattle, but that hat is ugly. I have to agree. That's not the most impressive hat.
No, they're not. I hate flat bill hats
red is
anyway.
Not even Seattle Mariners color. The red is not even, it's flat as fuck.
I hate those flat bills. I told you. I think it almost goes all the way to the end.
Well, this is good. This will help us speed up. We got 2 minutes and 54 seconds of "This is the sound of silence," and then we'll close and we'll call it good. I've enjoyed this little walkthrough of bullshit. Myself. Yeah, why did they pick a red hat for Seattle Mariners? No part of Seattle Mariners logo is red. No part of their team color is red. Who fucking decided to put the Seattle Mariners in a fucking red cap in the first place?
They have all these like outlying versions of things. Like I have a tan LA Dodgers hat, and there's nothing about them that's tan. So I think they just make whatever they want and then see if it sells. Meanwhile, we're still fucking redacted.
I got so bored.
Right.
I just got rid of Jeff H again.
It's still playing, people. It's still playing. This is
we
just
could have knitted it like crocheted a blanket at this point, folks.
Knit one, purl two,
and we're still redacted. Is it playing? Yeah, it's still playing.
It's still playing. I told you. I think it goes all the way to the end.
No.
Well, this is
no.
Sure an awful way to capstone your college.
Yeah.
It's for all of you,
for
every single one of you. And our hearts go out to you. And you have my name, my number, my email. If something comes up that you think of, if something you hear something, a lot of times these break even down the road. Somebody hears something or sees something, and, they just say, hey, that just didn't seem right. And that's the kind of stuff that we follow up on. So don't hesitate to call if you need it.
Because I'm going back down to Moscow to pick up like my bed and my desk and everything, and I can kind of touch base with a lot of my friends. And if I hear, that'd probably be the time that I would hear anything about it.
Right.
Because up here, the only people I've been seeing is my family, and they know not to really ask me any questions about it. Yeah. And
why?
They know not to ask me questions?
Why?
Yeah.
My family knows not to ask me questions about this. Why?
Yeah.
My family knows.
Why would they know that?
That sounds fitting.
Wasn't that odd? That was odd. My family knows not to ask
Yes, it was. Nobody talks about it.
That is odd.
You know why they don't talk about it?
Yeah, nobody talks about it in Moscow. Like, nobody talks about this. Everybody's convinced of how it happened, and nobody talks about it. Nobody wants to talk about it at all.
Because not only do they redact the documents, they fucking redact the people.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. We got 34 seconds left. Can we do it in 6 minutes? I think we can.
33.
I'm going straight to either you or what's the guy that called me? His name?
Cody Herman. Yeah.
I have his number. He texted me and told me to let him know if I hear anything.
Okay.
Because that's all I can do now is try and help the situation.
Right.
But with me, it's going to be a lot harder. I won't even have my phone.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, that's probably a good thing. Get you off the X for a while. So let me end this at 2:29.
I mean, what a fucking. Okay, so I get Dago why you said there's not a lot in there. So what are my key takeaways from that interview? My key takeaways are it's interesting. There was a 5-on-5 fight outside the Whites. Was the 5-on-5 fight the all the blood that was all over the whites? We don't know, because I don't think he made it clear during that interview that 5-on-5 fight that he witnessed was that night.
Right.
In fact, how could it be that night? Because he just came back the next morning, so he couldn't have witnessed the 5-on-5 fight. So we know the answer is no. The answer can't be no. The 5-on-5 fight that he supposedly saw couldn't have been that, because he wasn't back until that morning, unless he's just talking about a fight he heard about.
And he also responds at one point saying how many fights that go on there. And interestingly enough, it kind of, as much as I hate to go back to it, it takes me back to the Chris Whitcomb statement about the 3 fights.
Yes.
So you got to think about that a little bit more seriously, though. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there were other statements made about fighting going on. So I still wonder. Well, no, that's a different story. But anyway, I digress. Moving on.
Well, I really appreciate you guys spending some time doing the live dive on the Wacky Wednesday. Maybe not as wacky as the last Wednesday where we went nuts on the Jack Showalter interview.
There was nothing to go wacky on. It was all fucking redacted.
How do we know before we do a Wacky Wednesday if the video that we're going to see is going to be wacky or not? We don't know, because it's live. Unless somebody tells me ahead of time, you got to watch this one. You're going to love this one.
Well,
yeah.
I kind of warned you, but I mean, I didn't even realize, because I was when I was doing my show, I was listening to it, but I wasn't even paying attention to because I was scrubbing forward, missing the redaction points on purpose, and didn't realize how many there were. I told you there was a lot, but damn, that was a lot.
Yeah.
There was another article.
We did get some decent information
tonight. Yeah, there was some pieces. There's some pieces. We talked a little bit more about whether or not, Emily and Hunter were staying at the Whites, or whether they were at 1118. We talked a little bit about Emily's name being on 1118, yet maybe staying with Hunter at the Whites. And so we got a little bit more detail about that. We got a little bit more detail. And again, the 40 millionth person being talked about as Ethan's best friend, which I guess all that says is a lot of people felt like he was their best friend. And that there's people like that, right? There's people like that to make everybody around them feel like they're your best friend.
Yeah.
So was he that kind of guy? It sounds like it. He's that kind of guy that makes everybody feel like they're his best friend. So
we did learn that he's Hunter Johnson's cousin, which is kind of interesting, I think. And his roommate.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we learned that his family knows better than to ask about what happened in Idaho. No one talks about it. So his family knows better than to ask about that. That's interesting.
The fights.
And law enforcement seems to really, a lot of these interviews, law enforcement seems to be playing buddies with the people they're interviewing. They're very like, hey, look, we don't really believe that you're involved, and we're just trying to clear your name. And they don't seem to ever seriously be looking at alternate suspects. They don't put the thumb screws to anybody. They accept every answer without following up or asking follow-on questions. Yeah. They just kind of like, hey, look, this is a formality. We got to say we interviewed you, so we're just interviewing you. Trust me, bro, you're not under investigation. It just feels that way the whole time. But yeah. All right. Any parting thoughts, Dago, Robin, before we head out for the evening?
No. There's a big void from all the redactions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we did spend some time looking at this video. If nothing else, it was good to look at it so I can say I've seen it and I have my own opinion about it now. So now if anybody asks me, what do you think about that guy? I can say I have opinions about it because I saw it. So for that, I appreciate it. We are closing in shortly to the post-conviction relief window closing. It's got about a month and maybe a month and a half left to go.
Yeah,
maybe even just 1 month.
Well,
again, rumor mill is a buzz that it's coming, that there is post-conviction relief for something major coming.
I do have something for you before we get out of here. I do. Hold on. So you remember when, excuse me, Whitcomb was around and he gave us some, I guess you could call it insight into some things that may be coming down the road?
Yes.
Check this out.
Sounds like a Bon Jovi. Check this out. Think you got a free body on a free mind? Check this out.
Check this out.
Are you putting it backstage?
I am.
All right.
This is a trailer.
Oh, yes. I saw this. Yeah, let's roll it. Do you have the sound on it too?
I do. Here we go.
So I want to talk about good shot. I'm glad you showed that. I saw that earlier.
I almost forgot about it, and I planned on bringing it up, but yeah, this is important, folks.
One of the things that I was talking to Christopher Whitcomb when he wrote his book, Broken Plea, and I made a comment to him about post-conviction relief and Brian Kohberger and the time's running out on post-conviction relief. He made a comment to me, something to the effect of, well, I'm coming out with this book. Multiple whistleblowers are coming out. A Netflix documentary is coming out. And that was listed on one of the things. So this Netflix documentary might not be what you think it might be. It might not be just a huge, exactly what they told you happened, because Whitcomb listed this on some things that are happening right before Brian Kohberger's window rolls out, which is multiple whistleblowers, the big book, and a Netflix special. So this is the Netflix special. What was the date of airing on the Netflix special? Is it
July 29th?
Yeah, so it's going to come out. It's going to come out before post-conviction relief options. So it is shit in the works. Is this part of the shit that's in the works? New things that the public's going to hear about just before Brian Kohberger's window rolls out.
And if I pointed out like a month ago, you guys, every time something is about to happen, we get something like this. Now, this one, like Lee said, we were kind of informed that this might be a little bit different than the others we've seen. And we'll see, obviously. I'm not going to call it what it is until we know, but I would be interested if it was. And it's wild, the timing, everything that has happened. Again, we're back to timing again. Look at the timing on everything. Just saying.
Yeah, it leads to a lot of questions. You know, I see some familiar faces on there. I see Chief Dallinger. I see the Gonzalez. I see Christy Gonzalez. I see part of me thinks it's just going to be another hit piece. But when Whitcomb says this is one of the things that's happening before Kohberger's post-conviction, you have to wonder, is there going to be a little piece, even if it looks like a hit piece, is there going to be a little piece that's going to leave everybody dropping their jaws like, oh my God, did they just fucking say that? Right. I almost feel like that's going to have that. That episode, even if it looks like a hit piece, is probably going to have a moment that you're going to be like, oh my God, did they just say that? So we'll see what happens.
We'll see. And of course, I'm sure we're both going to be covering it, pieces of it, because we obviously can't play it in here, but it's going to be interesting to talk about, I'm sure.
Yeah. All right, Robin, any final thoughts?
No, more wild ride ahead, people.
The roller coaster never stops.
I was just going to say, it's a never-ending ride.
Oh, my God. Soon it'll be over, I think.
You think?
Well, here's the thing. If Brian Kohberger's post-conviction relief window runs out and he doesn't file, it should end, I would think. Then again, I said this earlier, but it should end within a month or so after that. But if he files PCR, yeah, we're talking about this case for the next fucking 5 years. I mean,
we still haven't gotten all the documents either. Remember that. We just got into, what are we in, 24? 25?
Yeah,
25.
I think something like that. And we still got to go all the way back to 22, according to what we were told. Yeah. So are they going to continue doing that, whether he files or doesn't file? I don't know. Obviously, we don't know how that's going to work out, but we got a ways to go yet, I think, regardless.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining me on another Crimes After Dark. We'll be back tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 Eastern Standard Time for another Crimes After Dark. And we will see you tomorrow night, and probably not Dago, because that's usually his night off with us, but he'll be back hopefully on Friday night for the Friday Night Fuckery episode. And you might see, or you might not see, Sue from Revelation Tarot drop in. She's wanting to get more involved with the receipts side of this and the documents and the stuff like that. So you may see Sue drop on Friday night as well. So everybody have a great evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right.
Have a great night, everybody.
Nighty night.